So, the Wii U, Nintendo's commercial failure, that the modern community absolutely refused to let die, right? I grew up with the console and I just loved it, and yeah, I will just refuse to let it completely be abandoned, right? And I've had mine for a while now, and at some point I got into the modding scene and modding games on it, and the process is fine, I guess, if you're doing it once. You download a zip on your PC, for example, from Game Banana. Here's one, you would just download one of those. And you would figure out the folder structure, you would copy everything to the right place. On the SD card, you would pull the card out of the console, and you put it into your console, and you boot up, and just hope nothing's broken. Right, and you would do that for 1, 2, or 3 games and a handful of mods, and it starts to get tedious pretty fast. So there's no version tracking, there's no easy way to switch mods on and off, no way to check if 2 mods are stepping on each other's files or something like that. So what I did, I created CoffeeShop. It's a mod manager that runs directly on your Wii U, on your hardware. You browse mods, download them, install them. You could also use CMU, for example, which will I do later in the video. Activate and deactivate them all without ever touching the SD card. It connects to community-hosted repositories over Wi-Fi and handles everything from the console itself. So before we get into the tutorial, if you want to know the full story and how the Wii U hardware actually works under the hood and what it's like to develop homebrew for a platform where the manufacturer is actively working against you, how you could write some homebrew applications yourself, and yeah, just some fun quirks of the OS, some few stories about bugs that took myself way longer to fix than they should have. Maybe it could help you out. And yeah, I wrote a detailed blog post about building this. The link is in the description. It's a long read, but it's generally interesting even if you don't know any C++. Okay? So let's go into the small, quick tutorial. So to use CoffeeShop, you will need 2 things. Well, actually 3. You will need a physical Wii U, right? You could also use CMU, but I guess if you're using CMU already, you will probably do the mod thing yourself. But it's also possible. So the first thing you will need is Aroma. So Aroma is the custom firmware that makes homebrew work on modern Wii U setups. The older ones I've used, for example, I think the one before was called Tiramisu, and I've been using that one again for Tiramisu. But yeah, that's not important. It's just you will need to use Aroma, right? There's a tutorial to install it on aroma.foryourcafe. Link is in the description, and there's a full setup guide there. I'm not going to cover that one here. There are already great guides for it. And the second one is SDCafiine. It's a plugin for patching games on the fly. It's like your mod loader, and CoffeeShop is your mod store, right? Yeah, that's the Aroma plugin that actually makes mods work. It intercepts file readings during gameplay and swaps out in whatever replacement files you have on your SD card. The game never knows anything changed. CoffeeShop manages the mods files itself on the SD card, and SDCafiine reads them. So you need SDCafiine installed and running for any of this to do anything. The setup guide is linked in the description again. And third, and of course, you will need an SD card in your console. Otherwise, you will also not be able to install Aroma itself, right? CoffeeShop also communicates over Wi-Fi, so console also needs to be connected to your network, but that's some standard Wii U setup, right? So one thing to install it is via the homebrew store, right? Store. I haven't submitted it yet. Oh, I think it's currently down. Well, that's fun. I haven't submitted it yet, but I will in the next few days. Maybe when you're watching the tutorial, and I will release the tutorial. It will already be online, right? But currently, you would just go on your releases tab on GitHub. There will also be a quick tutorial. Yeah, and download the latest release. You're looking at an executable MWUHB file. That's the Wii U homebrew bundle format, and the executable fonts, icons, everything packed into once. You copy it to your SD card in the desired path, Wii U, apps, and then the folder called ModStore. First one probably exists already, right? Yeah. The thing is, CoffeeShop does not ship with a built-in mod repository. It's just not possible, sadly. It's designed to pull from community-hosted repos, so you need to tell it where to look. You do that with a config file in the same CoffeeShop folder. You'll create a config.json file. You would just copy the thing in this box into it, right? And replace the string, which will be the link for your repository. You may also use multiple ones, right? For example, here's a reference to that. And that's pretty much the only thing you'll need to do. You can add multiple URLs here. They get merged at runtime, and I will cover how to set up your own repo in a minute. But if someone else has already shared one for the games you're playing, just drop the URL in here. But copyright and anything is up to you, right? I will not manage that one. So, what we'll do right now is head over to the emulator. What you would do on the Wii U, once the executable is in its right place, CoffeeShop shows up directly on your Wii U home menu, so no homebrew launcher needed or something like that. Just launch it there like any other app. So what I will do is I will emulate it using Simu, pretty much the biggest Wii U emulator. There's a nice startup sound right there. It may look a little bit pixelated to you, but that's nothing that will be on the Wii U. So what you will see right there, you will see that you will launch right into the Browse tab. This shows all the games you have mods available in your configured repos with the mod count for each. So you will select a game, typing A. There are just some stock runs installed right now because I'm using a stock repository without any copyrighted material by Nintendo, right? So you can see the thumbnail, name, author, versions, tags, and a short description. You can scroll through the D-pad or the analog stick. To install it, you would just press A, right? There will be a short sound. The game has mods for multiple regions. You'll get a quick region selection. Just pick US, Europe, or Japan, and it goes to the right folder automatically. I think I have something like that. Yeah, okay. There's nothing in my demo repository, but you'll see if that thing would happen to you. This matters because SDCafiine matches mods by the game title IDs, which is different per region. So CoffeeShop handles that one for you. The download runs in the background. So press plus to open the download queue, and you can see progress in real time. For example, right there. Download survive errors, so if something fails, it tells you you can just retry. The install tab shows everything that's currently on your console, right? Active mods have a check mark. I will show you that one real quick, right there. You can press A to toggle a mod on or off. That just moves the folder in or out of the SDCafiine directory. No copying involved, so it's pretty fast. If you try to activate a mod that conflicts with one you've already have active, meaning they both modify the same game files, CoffeeShop catches it before anything happens and shows you exactly which files would collide, right? So you can then decide which one you want. If a newer version of an install mod is available in the repository, you will see an update badge on the install tab. You could also just press A then and confirm to update. There's also a small setting screen, which I will expand in the future. So anything regarding to the application, this is the first release. There will be some bugs and some features will be implemented later, but anything you see on there right now is working right now. But I will gladly take issues and feature requests, right? So the setting tab shows you your configured repos, SD card free space, how much the cache is using, and your current install count. You can clear images here if you want free space. There's also a built-in log viewer, so if something goes wrong, you read the app logs directly on your console without needing a PC. Please, if you file an issue on the GitHub, which I'm really thankful for in the first place, please also provide some logs so I can fix those issues. Otherwise, it's pretty hard for me, right? So now let's talk about hosting your own repository. And this is what makes CoffeeShop useful beyond just the one or two public repos that might exist, right? Anyone can host mods for any game. You may use GitHub, for example, to host it, or any other repository, and I've created a small tutorial for it and also a template. So if you know how to use GitHub, you can just fork that and figure it all out yourself already. There's a small tutorial built in right there. So you go to the CoffeeShop Repo Template on GitHub, links in the description. Like always, just fork it. What means fork? You create an account and you will in simplest terms, create a copy of it, right, for you, and then you can modify it. So the top level file is a repo.json. It's the index that CoffeeShop fetches first. Edit the name, description, and author fields, and the games list points to individual, right? Sorry, I'm not a native speaker. It points to individual game definition files. Okay, got that one right. So the game folders, right? And each game gets a folder right there with a game.json inside. For example, Mario Kart 8 game.json. And what you will see here is the game's display name, icon URL, and the title IDs for each region. This is important, like the Wii U identifies games by a title ID. You can just look them up, and the same game has a different ID in Japan, US, and Europe. SDCafiine, like I said, uses this ID to know which mods to load for which game. The template has all three IDs for Mario Kart 8, for example. Just replace them for your game. And then the list of your mods. So, for example, one entry needs a unique ID using only lowercase letters, numbers, hyphens, or underscores, a name and an author, a version string, a description, a download URL for pointing directly to your zip file directly, right? You could just host them on, for example, your GitHub publishing page on the right side. I will show that real quick. For example, here on releases or packages, or use something like, I don't know, what is this mod using right there? Downloads. Oh, you could also use Game Banana for your host as well, or something like, I don't know how the share houses are called. You will probably find some of them, right? So optional but useful is a thumbnail image. Yeah, you would also need to state if it's a mod or a mod pack, right? Some tags, the license. Yeah, that's one of those things. The zip structure itself needs to be like the game on your console. You will probably figure that out already. For example, content folder at the top level. This maps directly to the structure SDCafiine expects it. Do you have this one in there already? Yeah, we'll probably add that one. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably add that one. So if the game file you want to replace lives at /content/model/player.bfres, in the game your zip should have content/model/player .bfres, right? There's also a validation script I wrote. So the template includes a script just to validate your repository. So it helps you creating one so you won't run into errors. And if you do, it will locally check your structure before publishing, right? So there's also a GitHub action that runs automatically on every pull request. So if you're accepting contributions, you get automatic checks, right? And once your repo is on GitHub, and get the raw URL to your repo.json. It's the one that starts with raw.githubusercontent.com, right? And drop it into your config.json. So, yeah, that's the full walkthrough, right? Install the app, point it at a repo, browse and install mods. And if you want to share mods with others, hosting a repo is a one-time setup that's mostly just editing JSON files. The full source is on GitHub under the GNU public license version 3, so it's open source completely. If you find a bug or want to add something, pull requests are more than just welcome to go to the development branch. Yeah, blog post in the description if you want to go deeper on the actual development side, how the Vue process model works. We have 3 separate things pros on the first hardware tests, where the Vue home button literally never reaches homebrew code, and what's the difference between the Wii operating system and the Wii U one. So thanks for watching and have fun modding.